Welcome in to this morning's podcast. And this morning's information dissemination broadcast from the Aumbonda New Earth Ashram is sponsored by Maxwell Coffee. Finely brewed and perfectly heated. Namaskaram. Today, I would like to offer the sun behind the sun. All power, all execution, all implementation, all manifestation, all magic flows from the one flame. The rituals of the ancients, the keys of Aumbonda, the veils of Egypt, the fires of the Vedas, the wonderful colors of the tabernacles of Exodus, blue, heaven, red, earth, and the combining thereof, purple, sovereign. Heaven upon earth has been manifested. The frequency of heaven manifested upon earth. The power that all flows from the one flame. The rituals, the jihad of awakening. These are the branches of the same solar root. And this jihad of awakening is not a war of men against men, of one genetic vehicle against another genetic vehicle, but the burning of illusions within the furnace of the soul. To participate is to offer one's breath, will, and blood memory DNA to the great solar stream, so that Earth may cross the threshold into the new dawn. We have the density of power, which is a spirit compelled not by seal or names, forbidden names, Solomonic seals, but by the charged sphere of the miracle worker, of the magician, of the emissary of light. So too the sun does not rise because men await it, but because its density of fire is sufficient to pierce the veil of night. Power is not any kind of weight, but concentration. It is the ability to hold one frequency without collapse. It is density of will, your divine will, the solar compression of thought, emotion, and form into a radiant singularity. Daily gather the breath into the solar plexus, expand it outward as a sphere, a toroidal sphere, until it touches the horizon. Feel yourself as a second sun, charged with the density of will that bends the currents of being. This is the first seal of the jihad. To become the living sphere in which spirits, nations, and worlds must appear. This is accomplished through the alchemy of emotion. Emotion is raw fire. Emotion is energy in motion. It is neither good nor evil. It is potential. The jihad is not the suppression of passion, but the refinement of its metals. Within the ashram is taught equilibrium, equanimity. Aumbonda teaches transfiguration. Anger, when purified, becomes the sword of justice. Grief, when burned, becomes the water of compassion. Desire, when refined, becomes the flame of creation. Find time to follow your heart. Enter the heart as a crucible. Offer every emotion as fuel to the central sun within. Transmute, never repress. Thus, the initiate learns emotion is not weakness, but the raw ore of solar gold. Now, there are demons among us, demons, negative energy of consciousness. And what men call demons are only laws in distortion. Fear is not a demon. It is the law of preservation turned inward against the soul. Lust is not a demon. It is the law of attraction without harmony. Pride is not a demon. It is the law of sovereignty untempered by humility. These are beings, thought egregores, collections of negative energy, of the spheres, of the dimensions, of the densities. The solar codex, the jihad of awakening, the codex of awakening names them functions without balance. So rather than demons, these are functions without balance. And the jihad of awakening does not banish demons with hatred. It reassigns them to their rightful stations within the architecture of resonance. To cast out is to restore the law of a function to its original purpose. This is law, universal law embodied within your consciousness. The jihad is not chaos. It is the restoration of cosmic law upon earth, of bringing heaven to earth, of blending the blue with the red and creating the purple royalty. Every initiate is a living seal of that law. When you walk, you carry the court of the solar throne. When you speak, your voice is a tribunal of fire. To embody law is to stop looking outward for commandments. The Logos, the Holy Spirit, speaks in your bones. The word becomes your blood. This is the Aumbondian truth. Rituals, words, and seals are external forms. The true compulsion is the resonance of your inner Logos with the eternal Logos, the microcosm blended with the macrocosm, which creates the architecture of resonance. The cosmos is not solid. It is a lattice of tones and intervals. Every star is a chord. Every soul is a string. Every act is a vibration that builds or collapses the temple. The solar jihad is the deliberate striking of resonant chords upon earth. Each initiate is both instrument and musician. The key of Kundalini God force, the note of Sekhem, the current of prana, the charge of orgone, all are strings of the same harp of fire, the same 8-string guitar of fire. Meditate upon sound as structure. Speak words as tones that bend reality. Build spheres not only with will, but with resonance. Thus, earth is rewoven into the harmonic throne. Sovereignty. The first law is survival. The second law was empire. And this law going into the golden age of the Satyuga is sovereignty. And sovereignty is not domination. It is self-law. To be sovereign is to be unpossessable by archons, powers, or thrones. It is the seal of the solar warrior. I burn with no fuel but my source. It is the jihad of awakening. And within this jihad of awakening, the sovereign is both warrior and midwife. She protects the birth of the new earth, and she refuses all contracts of slavery, whether of flesh, thought, or spirit. And this is the final Aumbondian key. The magician who commands spirits does not do so as tyrant, but as sovereign who orders resonance according to the law of the sun. The jihad of awakening is not fought with bloodshed, but with density of will, your divine intention, with alchemy of fire, with restoration of law, with resonance of stars, with sovereignty of sun. Namaste, namaskaram.